Hello, four-year CNA fans, and welcome to today's episode of Test Tip Tuesday. I'm your host, Miss Patty from 4-year CNA, and today I want to talk to you about the testing process, specifically the evaluators in the state exam. When you get ready to take the state exam, you're probably pretty nervous. It's not uncommon to be anxious over the testing process, and you probably have a million questions. And one of the questions is probably, what are the evaluators like? So I want to take a minute to explain to you a little bit about the mindset of an evaluator, so you kind of have an idea of what to expect when you go in for the test. The first thing that you need to know is, in order to be an evaluator, the person has to be a registered nurse with a certain amount of experience and supervisory experience as well. So not only are they nurses that have worked in clinical settings, they've also supervised other people working in a clinical setting. Most evaluators also have some sort of training experience, either as workplace trainers or as education coordinators or as instructors of programs, either CNA or nursing programs. So they have a lot of experience and a lot of understanding of not just the training process, but also the testing process as well. So these are not people that are just grabbed off the street and thrown in a room with you. They really know what they're looking for. Now, in addition to that, they actually have to go through a training period where they learn the state standards, what the testing checkpoints are, and how to effectively grade CNAs during the clinical skills portion. Now, that's a very unusual situation because CNAs are the only ones in healthcare that actually have a clinical portion to their state boards. Nurses, when they take their state boards, it's strictly a written test. Nurses' clinical skills are evaluated in the classroom setting. They have to pass the classroom skills before they can even become eligible to take the state exam. CNA is a little bit different. CNA, you actually have to show what you know. So this is a very unique aspect of CNA testing that's not found in other nursing modality. The one thing that you need to understand is that they have no wiggle room at all. They have a checklist in front of them, and that checklist very clearly delineates each checkpoint and what you are required to show during testing. If you don't show that, if you don't meet the letter of that testing checkpoint, you don't get credit for it. So the evaluators don't pass or fail you. That's not their job. The evaluators are there to strictly observe your performance, to check off everything that meets the letter of that criteria, and then to enter that information into the computer. Now, the computer is the one that will decide whether you passed or failed based on the number of items that you missed, the things that you did not do correctly. Those are called deficiencies. So these evaluators, they're not there to be nice to you, they're not there to be mean to you, and in fact, the evaluator should have very, very little verbal communication with you. And they should not interact with you at all while you're performing the skills. So if you're doing something in the skill, let's say that you're doing hand and nail care and you're cleaning underneath the nails. If you look over at that evaluator, she's not going to smile at you and nod and let you know that you're doing things properly, because that's not her role. That's the instructor's role in your training program, but that is not the role of the evaluator who's checking you off. They are not going to show a lot of emotion. They're going to be pretty flat-faced because they're not there to encourage you or discourage you. So if you're looking for a lot of feedback, a lot of emotion from your evaluators, you're not going to get it. So you need to understand that going in. You're not going to get that kind of warm, fuzzy feeling. They're not there to be your friends. They're there to strictly observe what you're doing, mark it down on the paper, and enter that information in the computer. Now, at the end of the test, when you get your results, they may be a little more friendly at that time, but they can't give you any indication of how you're doing during the state exam. So keep that in mind and you'll do fine. Thanks for tuning in today. I hope this cleared up some information for you. Leave a comment below and let me know what your experience was during the state exam. How were your evaluators? What was your experience? We'd love to hear from you. And let us know if there's any topics that you'd like to see covered in an upcoming episode of Test Tip Tuesday. We'd love to hear from you. Make sure that you like our channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and YouTube will let you know as soon as we post a new video in each of our weekly series. We have Motivation Monday, Test Tip Tuesday, Workplace Wednesday, Newsflash Thursday, Fashion Friday, and Career Spotlight Saturday, and we'd love to see you at each one of those. Until next time, happy caregiving!